Hello hopefuls, and thanks so much for coming back to my channel today. I want to share with you a tag that I was tagged in by Kimberly Davis Diva Designing on a Dime. This tag was created, it's called Dear New YouTuber tag. Let me make sure, y'all. Dear New YouTube Creator tag. So this tag was created by Juani over at Juani House. Hi Juani. And I adore Juani because when no one else watched my channel years ago, Juani somehow stumbled across my channel and found my channel, and she encouraged me so much. And so when she said this year she wanted to help other YouTubers that are starting, I wanted to do something. I haven't finished it, but I wanted to do something as well. I don't know if I ever commented back and told her, but it really inspired me to help other YouTubers, especially when I have like friends and family who have thought about doing it, but they don't even know where to start. So I really wanted to do this tag for tips, and I thought it was a great opportunity when Kimberly tagged me. So my tips are a little different from what the ones you always hear about, like great lighting, great thumbnails, which I will still cover that. But I realized listening to the beginning of Juani's again that she said 10 tips. So I think I wrote more than 10 tips. So I hope you guys don't mind. And then I'm going to tag. I know one person in mind I want to tag. But the others I have to think, and then I'll put them down in the description box. So let's get started with this. The very first tip, which you always hear all the time, is to be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else. Don't try to copy someone else's channel or how they do things. It's okay to be inspired about how someone edits something, or you like the way they may play music in theirs. You may like the way they have a certain setup. It's okay. What I like is if I see something that I like in someone else's video, and it may be something similar. It could be something, maybe a project that I'm not going to necessarily share on my channel, but in my home I'll comment and say, oh, I really like this, I'm going to try this. Because another thing, you know, by being yourself, you want to make sure that you're not copying, and you don't want that YouTuber to see it and feel like, well, dang, you know, I guess they liked it because they did something similar, but they didn't comment. They didn't say they liked it. They didn't even like it. They saw it, and I guess in a way it's a form of flattery, but just be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Your audience can tell if you're trying to be like someone else, or your audience can tell you're not being true to yourself. And so, and I think after a while you'll get burnt out just not being your true authentic self. The next tip is, and I guess that was give credit. Don't claim like something is yours. You know, say you're inspired by. That goes along with what I was saying earlier, because I see like a lot of, and I'm going to reference like maybe the planning community and the blogging community, because I recently got into that compared to the YouTube community. I see like a lot of bloggers use Pinterest. And I see things that are on Pinterest that creators making their videos, and they'll pretend like they created it or it was their idea, and it wasn't necessarily their idea. And I'm like, they're large YouTubers, and it just makes you see that person in a different light when they don't give the original credit of where they got it from. Of course, no one is the original creator, or nobody. There's so many ideas out here. Nobody has the original idea. Someone started it from somewhere, of course. But if you have the exact replica, or you know, you did this and then I just feel like that's the same as copying or taking someone else's work. Okay, moving on. Okay, don't compare your channel to someone else's channel, or someone's life to someone else's life. You don't know. My husband had to tell me this once. You don't know what their life is like once they turn that camera off. It may be blissful, it may be turmoil, it may be stressful. You don't know what it's like to have 50K subscribers, 100K, subscribers or more. I'm sure it is stressful, because just from what I have, sometimes replying to comments, and sometimes maybe the negativity, I don't get a lot, but it's a lot. So don't compare your channel, because you may not be at that point to where you may be able to necessarily handle that. But what I do is, I did it a lot when I first started. And then when I first started, it was almost 5 years ago. So I was like 32, 33. Now I'm almost close to 40, 38. I've grown into myself, and a lot of insecurities of things that I don't let bother me anymore. I know my family is different from other creators. I have 3 boys. One is close, one is almost 20. Josiah is 4, almost 5. JJ is a teenager. He's 14. You know, I have a husband. I have certain goals that I want personally. So I know that what's going to work for someone else who may have kids, who may have one kid, who may have girls, who may have older kids, or they may live with them, they may not live with them, they have more free time. Trust me, when I started my channel, Josiah was a newborn, or he actually wasn't born, my very first video. And as time went on, I saw that, you know, it's a total difference from, it's a 9-year difference from JJ and Josiah. And I knew that I had a lot of time to myself to do things that I wanted to do, because JJ was independent, you know, doing different things. But when Josiah came along, it was like a total, you know, 360 all over again. Of course, my older kids depend on me for other things, like, you know, like Cottrell today, in a couple of hours, he will need to get an Uber. I have to make sure he gets an Uber to get on the train to come home, and then I go pick him up. He still calls me, Mom, my financial aid, or they not letting me get stuff at the bookstore, or, you know, when he had to change dorm rooms, they're still depending on me. So I don't compare my channel to someone else who may have no kids, who have kids, who have a spouse, who doesn't have a spouse, because I know I have to be present and do certain things. So I know that was long and drawn out, sorry, but that's what helps me to keep things in a balance and in a perspective. My next tip, keep a balance. Keep a balance, or try to have balance in your life. When I very first started YouTube, I was excited. I still am, but I go honestly in dips and valleys. At first, as soon as I went to Dollar Tree, as soon as I had something, I came home, I filmed it. My grocery hauls, I come home and film right away. I was really, everything was brand new, and that's okay. That's fine. You can do that. But after a while, I realized, okay, I'm hauling so much that I don't have time to use the things that I purchase, or put up the things that I purchase, or enjoy the things that I purchase, such as like crafting items. It could have been home decor, and it sat there in bags, and I didn't like that. It wasn't just that, but also I felt like with the seasons always coming around, of course they're going to always come around, but I didn't have a chance to enjoy them with my family. You don't have to necessarily record every single season. If your channel is seasonally, great. Mine is one that revolves around the seasons and so forth. But just find a balance. Like, tell yourself to, I don't necessarily on this vacation have to completely vlog. I don't necessarily on this journey that I have to let everyone know. Just find a balance and a peace. When I started feeling a little anxious or having a little anxiety, and I didn't get anxiety till after losing Jasmine, I felt like I was going in circles and I was spinning. And if you really follow me, sometimes on Instagram I would say I felt like I was just spinning in circles. Time was going by fast, super fast. I wasn't being able to enjoy the moment and being present. So I wanted to make sure I found balance. So sometimes if I had to say no to something, or if you have to say no to something, that is okay. I know at first it's so exciting. You're meeting new people, new YouTubers and so forth, and that's great. But when you get to the point to where you're feeling anxious and having anxiety about things, find a balance. Find some peace. Take a break. Come back to it. Pray about it, and just just take a break. Breathe, and it's gonna be okay. Because sometimes you can feel the pressure of doing a certain party, revealing a certain space that everybody's may have been waiting to see, and you can feel that pressure building up. I felt that pressure with Cottrell's graduation party, and for me, whenever I do anything, I like to do everything out of love. So you should always do it out of passion, and when I do it out of love, then that's when it just comes out so much better, so much beautiful. and if I feel that pressure, then I just can't really let the creativity flow. So just find a balance. Okay, guys. So also finding your balance, guys. I have had to make sure that if you notice the larger YouTubers, not just because they're large, but they have probably, I'm sure, more stress. They have overwhelmness and so forth because their platform is bigger, and they may get a lot of negativity and so forth, and you just have to find your balance and peace. And finding that balance and peace, you also want to make sure you center yourself by reading the word in the morning, or whatever your religion or your preference may be. Pray, do those things first in the morning. Meditate on the word, listen to podcasts, listen to sermons on your phone, on YouTube, Facebook, on the TV, whatever you have to do to center yourself to get your day going. That way, I always feel so much better, not feeling all the negativity and the comparisons, and I feel overwhelmness and anxious, and that just what helps me. So you may want to, at first you may not, you need to do that you should do that anyway, I should say, but you may not feel that pressure or that anxiety at first, but when you start to build up your momentum, you may feel that way. Don't look around. Don't look around. This goes back to the comparison. In the blogging community, we say put your blinders on. So for me and my personality, I have to put my blinders on, because when I start looking around, I lose my creativity, I lose my focus, I tend to lose I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, if you have to put your blinders on and put your head down and focus on what you're doing, and exactly what I mean by that is if you have to take a break from watching other creators, I know it's a big thing. Of course, you should support other YouTubers and so forth, especially if you're new. You need to make sure you go out there and you network, which I'll get to in a minute. But if it's starting to bother you, or you feel a certain type of way, or you're feeling defeated or so forth, put your blinders on, put your head down, but make sure you come back up and look around and see what your YouTube sisters are doing. Comment, like, scroll, see what they're doing, comment, like, see what they're doing, and that will go. Let's go into networking. It's so important to network. The past couple of years, and especially when I was working outside the home, I had so much going on that I didn't get a chance to, network like I really wanted to network. It's very important to get to know other YouTubers. Make sure you comment, make sure you like. I've gotten really slack at this. I watch a lot of creators more so now because I have the time. but I watch it on the TV. So I have to grab another phone and make sure I go back and comment, which is tough to do sometimes. But I will let them know, hey, I've been watching, da 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 da. But sometimes you tend to think as if you're just a subscriber, or if you are a smaller creator or even a big creator, you think that they won't notice. They will notice. I notice everyone who always comments. I notice everyone who always likes whatever I put on Instagram, whoever watches on or likes on Facebook. I notice the same people who comment. I notice. I know who they are. I don't want to start calling names because then I'll leave somebody out. But make sure you network. Also do collabs. Collabs are a great opportunity, like the other lady said, to get your name out there. I have wanted to join some of the open ones, but as soon as I want to do it, then I realize, dang it, I missed it. And so make sure you get like some type of planner. Make sure you write down those collabs and so forth. Make sure you network and join those collabs so you can get more exposure to your channel. I tend not to do them as much because my life is a little hectic. Josiah stays home with me. He went to daycare like once for like a week or two because we needed it because no one else was able to watch him. Both of us had to work. And my life is hectic. So in order to create balance for me, not to have anxiety and overwhelm, I have to do what's presently in my life. So, you know, when he goes off to school, or, you know, as the boys get older, I will I want to participate in them now, but I want to try to participate them in more of them. If it's not necessarily in your timeline to do it, don't feel bad that you can't necessarily do it. Right now, your season is your season. My season is I have a kid that has been home with me the entire time. Even when I was working, Jason and I will juggle Josiah. I will come home, Jason will go to sleep in between my bus route, and then I will wake Jason up. I will go back to work and then come back home, and then Jason will leave to go to work. So we juggle Josiah. Josiah really never went to daycare except that one or 2 weeks, and that's a whole nother. So just do what you can. Educate, learn, and implement. It is so important to make sure that you are constantly learning something new on your channel, learning something about your channel, learning something about where the direction that you want to go. I have had so many, at first I used all of the free things there are so many different free videos on how to improve your channel, how to do different things, how to improve the lighting, maybe different ways to position the camera, how to edit, how to just try to learn something at least, or give yourself a goal to learn something new every week, every 2 weeks, every month about your channel. It could be about branding. It could be about affiliate marketing. It could be about your analytics. It could be about sponsor videos. It could be about your thumbnails. Just so many different things that you can learn. Your presentation. I even listened to some videos on trying not to say so many times. And you know, if it's so many, my husband said that the reason why I said it so many times is because I am not comfortable with silence. I have gotten better. I have gotten a lot better. But if you feel like you need to watch a video or how to, I don't know, public speaking or whatever, then watch it. But if you need to take out the y'all. Take out the but don't get so particular about the that you dread editing the video because you have to take out the So don't do that. Okay, but make sure you implement and learn. There are so many courses that I have that I haven't even had a chance that I have purchased. But mainly they're due to blogging, but they coincide with YouTube, and there are a couple of YouTube courses inside of that course. So the one that I'm referring to is the Ultimate Blogging Toolkit, and then I'm sure there are tons of like maybe blog posts about different things, but the information is out there if you want to learn. Sometimes you may have to invest in actually money in, of course, to actually learn what you need to learn about something, but don't get so caught up in purchasing or buying or learning that you forget to implement what you learn. I know a lot of things that I've learned that still I'm hard-headed and I want to do what I want to do. I need to implement those and take the time to implement those things too. So always continue to learn and educate yourself about your channel. It's not just about turning on the camera. You know, you may do fine with doing that. Some people are blessed that has happened to them, but everybody, that's not going to necessarily be that way. Okay, another tip I want to give you guys is to make sure that you're giving value to your audience. Sometimes we get on YouTube and we tend to think that it's about you. Okay, I guess it is YouTube. But what I learned in blogging community is that you need to give them, your audience, value. You need to teach them something, and it's not all about you. It's not about you showing this or showing that. It's not necessarily about you showing your life. Give them some type of value. Now, with that being said, it is giving the watcher value, because I'm okay with silence, y'all. It's okay with giving them value through entertainment with a vlog, because they have learned to love your family. They not learned, but they have grown to love your family. They love you as a person. They like you as a person, and so they want to see those things. So that's a form of entertainment. So they are learning something. They may be learning something like maybe how you put up your dishes, or how you mop your floor, or how you place certain things in your home. You know, you may be showing off a reveal, but you're also showing them how you organize the space. So it's not necessarily always about you as the creator. You need to make sure that you are giving them value content, that you are giving them some type of tip, some type of inspiration, some type of but let the inspiration be, you know, let it come naturally. You know, just make sure that you give your audience value. Evergreen content. Make sure, or try, this is kind of tricky. Sometimes people will search videos and you don't know why they may have watched that type of video. But make sure you create evergreen content, meaning content that people are always searching for. You don't always searching for, or they can watch over and over. So of course, like recipes, cooking, people are going to search that over and over. I don't get a ton of views on that, but like stuff like DIYs or weddings or something like that, I can tell when it's like wedding season or something, I will get more views on those type of videos. I didn't purposely do those videos. Those videos, someone asked me. They just so happen to work and coincide with my channel and what I love to do. And then like the bridal shower, the DIYs, those things like that, I was doing it for my cousin. She asked me, and so those things, or like evergreen content on my channel, organization, cleaning, it just depends. I even have some people comment like on an old Dollar Tree haul or a old Aldi haul or something like that, because the grocery hauls, they'll keep the same stuff usually in the grocery store. That's evergreen content, but usually stuff that someone can learn from you, That's evergreen content that they can watch over and over and over again. They have to rewind it, play it again, see what materials they need. Those are great videos. Take stuff personal, guys. Don't take things personal. And I'm going to have to wrap this up. I have so many more tips on here. So my battery cut off. I was talking a whole lot and didn't even know it. But I think where it left off is that I was talking about don't take things personally on social media, on your channel, whatever. There are many things that you shouldn't take personally, and the one thing I would say, well, several things I should say. Okay, so the things that you should not take personally is like if someone thumbs down your video, if they dislike something, if they say something negative. And I know it's hard, we're human, but just ignore it. I know I got a lot of comments or some negativity when I first started my grocery hauls. And then when I was feeding that negativity, that's when they kept coming back. They kept coming back. But when I ignore them, that's when they stopped. And just don't feed into the negativity. You know, if someone comments, I think that the person that may have commented, a lot of times they stumbled upon your channel. They're not necessarily a subscriber. Sometimes they are. And they may say something, they don't realize how it may come across, and then you come back and you comment and they're like, oh, I didn't know you were going to comment. But they have to realize that regardless of how many comments you get, you read them, you see them. And I think we all should think before we post and do things, but just don't count to 10, count to 100 if you need to. Or you make a post on Instagram about that. I try not to give it any energy, try not to feed that. I know usually I always vent to my mom, my husband, even my kids, and my mom would just say, you know, don't worry, forget it. My husband definitely do not care what folks think. He is the one. So they really keep me in check, or I shouldn't say in check. They keep me in line about, you know, don't worry about what folks have to say. So what? And just forget it, you know. Another thing don't feed into, which I don't hear a lot about, is you may, sorry if you hear Josiah, you may hear or see things, I should say mainly stuff that other creators may say. They may throw shade in their video, maybe something that you did or something similar. This has happened to me a couple of times, and there were actually people, honestly, that I truly admired. It made me see them differently, but it also made me forgive them. And I think you should be very careful when you have a platform of what you say, how you say it. Count, if you need to count to 1,000 before you post something, before you say something in the video, because you don't know who is your biggest fan. They don't say anything and they're your biggest fan. It took me a minute to go back and start watching that person's video, but evidently it must have been something in my video that resonated with them, or in your video that you may do that resonate with them in order for them to say what they said. We're human, and we're not going to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. They probably thought you wouldn't see it or you wouldn't notice it, but you did. Just forgive them, move on, still love them as a creator, but don't take it also personally if they may not get back with you with a email, if they don't join a collab or so forth. You don't know what that person is going through. Again, don't take it personally in their life. They are overwhelmed. They have this to juggle. They have a house to clean. They have children. They have multiple children. They have young children who depend on them. They have a marriage. They may be stressed because they may, they got bills to pay, or, they may be sad. They may be depressed. You don't know what they're going through. So don't take it personally with all these different things. We're so quick to judge with all these different things, and my husband really helps me with, keeping that in perspective. Other tip, guys, is to just start. Just start. I have some friends and family who recently said that they would like to start, but it's a lot of work and so forth. Put in the work, guys. When I very first started YouTube, I didn't think about how much work it involved. It's a lot of work. It's not for the faint at heart. You have to have tough skin. Like other creators said, you have to put in the work. Don't expect someone to necessarily shout you out. Don't necessarily expect to just grow overnight. Some people do, like Kimberly said. But put in the work. Start because you're truly passionate about sharing something in your life or something you love, and you do enjoy the lights, camera, action, and getting in front of the camera. Then that love will always be there. You won't necessarily have to worry about, am I wasting my time? Nobody's watching. I'm not making any money. Now, you will genuinely do it because you absolutely love to do it. And you want to share with others. But with that being said, to be honest, it's going to be a lot of work, but it's so worth it in the end of this wonderful community. I am grateful for the community of the people who I met, people who I maybe will meet one day. The YouTube sisterhood, things that I found out about, like planning and blogging and scrapbooking and different crafting and home decor. All these different things that I absolutely love, to where I feel like it's not enough time in the day to do everything that I want to do. And I'm grateful because of that, because you know, one day my kids are going to grow up. They're not going to be around. I need a hobby. I need something to do. And so I'm excited to one day when I'll be able to do those things to the full capacity. And I'm grateful for the community for introducing me to just the love of all the different things. Another thing that I said that the camera cut off was finding a sounding board, guys. My mom and my husband and my kids are a great sounding board for me. I absolutely love that I can go and talk to my mom, and we do YouTube talk. That's what my brother says, and we're just calling everybody by their names and their channels, and they're like, who y'all talking about or whatever. My entire house is a YouTube house anyway. My boys, they're on their phone, they're watching YouTube, they're trying to give me YouTube tips. Mom, you need to set a schedule, or Mom, you know, YouTube got an algorithm, which I know about, and you know, they just always trying to give me different tips and so forth. Or they'll say, don't worry about that, or they just mad, or did you hear about so and so, or you know, which usually I don't know about who they're watching. But my mom is a great sounding board. She's a great motivator. She's just telling me, you know, if I get discouraged about something, she said just keep going. So find you someone in your life. It could be your YouTube sisters, it could be your family, it could be your husband, it could be your kids, it could be just someone you watch who posts motivational videos. You watch them over and over again. Find someone who is there in your corner. But at the same time, y'all, I have so many different tips. At the same time, don't get upset and take it personally. Like if your friends or your family don't necessarily come and watch your channel. Sometimes they don't get it. Sometimes people don't watch. But some people watch and they won't tell you that they watch. They won't necessarily like it. They will scroll past it. I love the business Instagram, because you can see the impressions that you get, meaning if someone hovered over your picture or kind of looked, it'll tell you how many people you actually reached, or how many people versus your like, or who shared it, or who bookmarked it. It'll tell you all of that. You don't see who did it, but it tells you that you may not have as many likes, but you can tell that, you know, it inspired somebody some way. But just find you a sounding board, or you know, someone. I want to eventually get what's it called, a life coach by the end of the year. I don't know. And because I don't want to stress my mom or my husband out, or always vent to them about certain things, I'm sure they don't mind. But I am so grateful for my mom. She'll always tell me, Hope, just keep going, just keep going. I just feel some days I'll be like, Mama, I don't know. I don't know. And she'll just say, Hope, just keep going. Don't get discouraged. Just keep going. So I love you, Mama, for that. I'm trying to think, guys, what else I said because it cut the camera off. Smile when you're talking. Make sure Anitra B had a great tip. That it was an OOO video that I found, and I need to do this as far as like if you're talking to the camera. I saw where someone put a teddy bear there and they talked to the teddy bear because it's hard for me to always keep focus on the camera. See, I don't necessarily implement what I know, but I need to do it. Also, she said that, you know, when you turn on the camera, make sure you have a enthusiasm, make sure you're excited. When I'm behind the camera, I'll make sure I'm excited. A lot of times I am excited what I'm going to show you guys, and there's some days, you know, I'm tired. I don't necessarily feel like that. People like, hi guys, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. Also, if you're doing a voiceover, I can tell sometimes that, you know, I was like, whoa, ho, you mustn't smile before that. But in customer service, when you answer the phone, they teach you, one of the many jobs I have, they teach you to answer the phone with a smile. And when I can tell, I make sure that when I start off with the video, that when I'm doing a voiceover, that I'm smiling, so my tone will be upbeat and uplifted, and you can tell that when you just smile. So that tip that Nitra B had about make sure you're enthusiasm. You don't want to hear someone who is, you know, drawn out or whatever. Of course, don't try to be somebody else or, you know, a different personality. Be who you are, because I'm not upbeat all the time, but I am upbeat. I'm probably a little bit laid back on camera that I am in life, because I'm like loud. I'm like hee ha ha, head going back, laughing. My husband's more like, you know, reserved, like, you know, cool, collect, and I'm just like, yeah, loud. Okay, I think that might be it, guys, that I can remember. I really need to do another video because it's so many different tips I want to talk about. You know, lighting, you don't necessarily have to have like equipment at first. It took me a long time to get light boxes, but just find like other creators who you might have to watch several videos who have like their equipment that they shared maybe in their description box. I actually have my equipment in the description box if you want to check out what I use. It is an affiliate link and it will help my family out or help me out on my channel. Let's see what else real quick, guys, I want to share. Make sure your thumbnails pop. Don't just use text. The experts say use your picture of yourself. I don't tend to do that. I need to do that. They say it gets more attention, but make sure you brighten the picture. Make sure you contrast and saturate the picture with the color to get it poppy, because you want people to click on your video. Make sure you learn about SEO, which is search engine optimization, like what people are searching for with the video. Ask your audience what they would like to see from you. Do a lot of call to action. A lot of these things are in those videos, like Roberto Blake and Gerald Eves and some other people I cannot think. I have watched so many different people. GoPro Mom, I believe she's another person I can think off the top of my head. But a lot of creators also have like video tips within their mini videos that they have, and you know, they're awesome too. I'm trying to think what else, guys. But don't go out and buy a bunch of equipment. Use what you have at first. I used my phone at first. I didn't edit. And then now I still have the same camera. It's time for me to upgrade. I do have a GoPro, but I need to really figure out how to use that and so forth. But, you know, if you start to get paid from YouTube, my husband, you know, he was saying, hope you need to take a certain percentage. You need to save this. You need to invest this back into your business. You need to save this amount, only spend this amount, and then this amount you need to use towards equipment or put back into your channel. I think that's it, guys, that I can think of everything. Make sure you learn something new about your channel. Dig into your analytics. I recently took a course by Gia, Marriage and Motherhood, where she talked about in her course about, and I actually did a face-to-face webcam with her, about digging into your analytics and figuring out what videos people are joining your channel for, what videos people are watching, looking at your watch time. And she was deciphering between the new YouTube studio. We gotta wrap it up. Sorry, I was crying about something. The new YouTube studio beta, that really helps a lot about, it's more in depth of your analytics and your watch time and stuff like that. That course was really helpful. I really figured out why people were watching. So invest in yourself and stuff like that. Dig into your analytics. But guys, let me wrap this up. This is super long, and if I have any more, if you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be happy to help. I love to help other people with different things. And then also, if I come up with any more tips or something that I left out, then I'll come back and make another video. So thanks so much, Kimberly, for tagging me in this video. I want to tag Fuquay-Varina. I know that she is seasoned, that she has some tips. I also would love to tag Pretty and Flaw if she sees this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry that it's super long. Bye bye.